Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you for a moment, because if there is one habit that can change your life without costing you a single dollar, it's gratitude. See, most people wake up every morning already defeated. Before their feet even hit the floor, they start complaining about what they don't have, what didn't work, who didn't show up, and what went wrong yesterday. And I'm here to tell you something. If you keep waking up focused on what's missing, your mind will never see what's possible. When you wake up in the morning, the first gift you've already received is breath. You opened your eyes. You got another chance. Somebody didn't wake up today, but you did. That alone is worth saying thank you for. Gratitude is powerful because it reminds you that even when life isn't perfect, it's still working in your favor. You don't need everything to be right to be thankful. You just need to recognize that you're still standing. Ladies and gentlemen, let me slow this thing down and really talk to you, because this one keynote right here can transform the way you think, the way you move, and the way you live. Gratitude shifts your mindset from lack to abundance, and most people don't even realize how trapped their mind is until they start practicing thankfulness. See, every single day, we wake up counting what we don't have. We measure ourselves against other people's success, other people's progress, and other people's blessings. And the moment you do that, you tell your mind a lie that you're missing something, that life owes you more than it's given you. But gratitude does something powerful. It stops the noise. It forces your mind to pause, recognize that you are not empty, you are full. You are not behind, you are in process. You are not lacking, you are learning. When you start your morning thanking God for what you already have, you reprogram your mind to see abundance instead of scarcity. And once your mind shifts, everything else follows. Most people think abundance is about money, cars, houses, and titles. No, abundance starts in the mind. Abundance is knowing you still have breath when you wake up. Abundance is realizing you still have another chance to get it right. Abundance is understanding that you've survived things that should have broken you. Gratitude opens your eyes to these truths. It reminds you that even if you don't have what you want yet, you have what you need to keep going. When you live in lack, you complain more. You get frustrated easier. You walk around angry at the world. You blame people. You blame circumstances. You blame God. But when you live in gratitude, your spirit softens, your patience grows, your faith gets stronger. You stop asking, why me? And you start saying, thank you for trusting me with this challenge. That's a whole different mindset. Let me tell you something about the mind. It believes whatever you feed it. If you feed it complaints every morning, it will look for problems all day long. If you feed it gratitude every morning, it will look for blessings everywhere you go. And the funny thing is, the world doesn't change. Your perception changes. The same situation that used to stress you out now teaches you something. The same delay that used to make you angry now builds your patience. That's the power of gratitude. Gratitude also kills fear. Fear comes from focusing on what could go wrong. Gratitude brings peace because it reminds you of what has already gone right. When you look back over your life and think about all the doors that opened at the last minute, all the help that showed up when you didn't see a way, all the strength you didn't know you had, fear starts to lose its grip. You realize you've been carried before, and you can be carried again. When you shift from lack to abundance, you stop begging life for validation. You don't need approval from everybody. You don't need to prove yourself. You move differently. You walk with confidence, not arrogance, but confidence rooted in thankfulness. You know who you are because you know what you've been brought through. See, gratitude doesn't mean you're settling. It means you're appreciating the journey. You can be grateful and still hungry. You can be thankful and still ambitious. Gratitude doesn't kill your drive, it fuels it. Because when you know how much you've already been given, you feel responsible to do more with it. This shift from lack to abundance is not a one-time thing. It's a daily decision. Some mornings you won't feel grateful. Some mornings life will hit you hard. But that's when gratitude matters most. Because when you choose thankfulness in hard moments, you take your power back. You tell your mind, I'm still in control. And once your mind believes that, nothing can stop you from moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real simple but life. Changing the way you start your morning decides the kind of day you're going to have. Most people don't lose their day at noon or in the evening. They lose it in the first 10 minutes after they wake up. Before they even sit up, their mind is already racing with worries, bills, pressure, regrets, and fear. And once your mind starts running in the wrong direction in the morning, it pulls your whole day with it. See, mornings are powerful because your mind is most open when you wake up. It hasn't been fully influenced yet. It hasn't been attacked by opinions, bad news, negativity, or disappointment. That moment right when you open your eyes is when your thoughts are being programmed. And if you don't program your mind on purpose, life will do it for you. When you wake up and immediately grab your phone, scroll social media, check messages, or look at the news, you're allowing the world to tell you how to feel. Somebody else's success makes you feel behind. Somebody else's problems make you anxious. Bad news makes you fearful. And now your day hasn't even started, but your peace is already gone. That's why mornings matter so much. Gratitude in the morning sets the emotional temperature for the whole day. Just like a thermostat controls the climate in a room, your morning mindset controls your emotional climate. If you start your day cold, bitter, stressed, and ungrateful, everything feels heavier. Small problems feel big. Minor delays feel personal. People irritate you easier. But when you start your morning with gratitude, you walk into the day warmer, calmer, and more patient. Think about this: when you wake up thankful, you're already winning. You haven't done anything yet, but your spirit is already in a positive position. Gratitude grounds you. It reminds you that no matter what happens today, you woke up blessed. And once the thought settles in your mind, problems don't shake you the same way anymore. Morning gratitude also trains your focus. Whatever you focus on grows. If you focus on stress in the morning, stress multiplies. If you focus on appreciation, appreciation expands. You begin to notice small blessings throughout the day, kind words, open doors, unexpected help, moments of peace. Those things were always there, but now your mind is trained to see them. A lot of people say, I'll be grateful when things get better. That's backwards. Things get better when you become grateful. The morning is when you make that decision. You're telling your mind, no matter what today brings, I choose gratitude. And that choice gives you emotional strength. You don't break down at the first challenge. You don't fall apart when plans change. You adapt because your foundation was set early. Let me tell you something else about mornings. Your confidence is built there. When you wake up grateful, you walk into the day believing you can handle whatever comes your way. You don't know what's coming, but you trust yourself more. That confidence doesn't come from having everything figured out. It comes from knowing you've been carried before. Gratitude reminds you of that. Morning gratitude also protects your peace. Life will test you. People will disappoint you. Things will go wrong. But when your mind is anchored early, you don't drift as far. You might feel frustration, but you don't stay there. You recover faster. You bounce back quicker. That's because gratitude in the morning creates emotional resilience. And listen, this isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about deciding that your mind won't be controlled by chaos. You can be tired and still grateful. You can be struggling and still thankful. You can be waiting on your breakthrough and still appreciate the process. Morning gratitude doesn't deny reality. It strengthens you. Face it. Every successful person you admire has a morning routine, whether they admit it or not. They guard their mornings because they understand this truth. Win the morning and you win the day. Lose the morning and you spend the rest of the day trying to recover. So when you wake up before the world gets a chance to speak to you, speak gratitude into your own life. Thank God for another chance. Thank Him for lessons, for strength, for growth. That simple habit done every morning quietly reshapes your mind. And when your mind changes, your life has no choice but to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about something people don't connect enough, and that's gratitude and confidence. Most people think confidence comes from winning, from money, from applause, or from people telling you good enough. But real confidence is built in quiet moments when nobody is watching, and one of the strongest builders of confidence is gratitude. See, when you're ungrateful, you're insecure. You're always looking for more, always comparing, always feeling like you're not enough. You measure your worth by what you don't have yet, and that kind of mindset keeps you nervous, defensive, and afraid to move. But gratitude does the opposite. Gratitude reminds you of your value by showing you evidence of how far you've already come. When you wake up and start thanking God for what you have, your mind starts reviewing your blessings instead of your fears. You realize you've already been protected, guided, and strengthened in ways you didn't even notice at the time. That realization builds quiet confidence. You stop doubting yourself so much because you see proof that you've been capable before. Gratitude creates peace, and peace creates clarity. When your mind is calm, you think better. You make better decisions. You speak with more confidence. You don't rush. You don't panic. You don't fear the need to explain yourself to everybody. That's what peace does. And peace comes from knowing you're supported, even when things are uncertain. A lot of people confuse confidence with loudness. They think confidence means being aggressive, dominant, or always right. No, real confidence is calm. It's steady. It doesn't need to compete. And gratitude teaches that calmness. When you're thankful, you're not desperate. You're not begging for attention. You're secure in who you are and where you are. Gratitude also removes bitterness. And bitterness is one of the biggest killers of confidence. When you're holding on to resentment, disappointment, and anger, it shows in your body language, your tone, and your energy. People can feel it. You walk into rooms guarded, tense, and defensive. But when you practice gratitude, your heart softens. You let go of what hurt you, not because it didn't matter, but because you refuse to let it control you. Let me tell you something powerful. Confidence isn't believing nothing bad will happen. Confidence is knowing you'll be okay even if it does. Gratitude teaches that lesson. When you look back on your life and see all the storms you survived, all the setbacks you overcame, and all the moments you thought were the end but weren't, your fear starts to shrink. You realize you're stronger than you thought. Gratitude also strengthens your faith. And faith and confidence go hand in hand. When you believe there's a bigger plan working for you, you stop forcing things. You stop chasing validation. You trust the timing. You trust the process. That trust shows up as confidence. You move with purpose instead of pressure. Another thing gratitude does is improve the way you talk to yourself. Most people are their own worst critics. They wake up judging themselves, replaying mistakes, and doubting their abilities. Gratitude interrupts that negative self-talk. Instead of saying, I'm not enough, you start saying, I'm thankful, I'm learning. Instead of saying, I failed, you say, I'm grateful for the lesson. That shift changes your identity. When your inner dialogue changes, your outer life changes. You stand taller. You speak clearer. You take chances you were too afraid to take before. Not because you're suddenly fearless, but because you trust yourself more. And that trust comes from gratitude. Gratitude also improves your relationships. When you appreciate people instead of expecting perfection from them, you create healthier connections. Healthier relationships reinforce confidence. You feel supported, valued, and understood. You're no longer trying to prove yourself all the time. You can just be yourself. Listen, confidence isn't something you wake up with one day. It's built daily, and gratitude is one of the strongest tools you have to build it. When you consistently thank God for your progress, your growth, and even your struggles, you create a solid foundation inside yourself. And once that foundation is strong, you don't shake easily. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about gratitude and faith, because when life gets heavy, gratitude is not just a good habit, it's a survival tool. Everybody loves to thank God when things are going well, but the real power of gratitude shows up when things are not working, when doors are closed, when prayers seem unanswered, and when you're tired of waiting. That's when gratitude becomes an act of faith. See, faith isn't believing everything will be easy. Faith is believing there is a purpose even when you don't understand the pain. Gratitude in hard times is you saying, I don't see it yet, but I trust you. And that kind of trust strengthens your spirit. It keeps you from breaking under pressure. Most people lose their faith because they focus on what went wrong instead of what's still right. They look at the one door that closed and forget about the 10 doors that protected them. Gratitude shifts your focus. It doesn't ignore the pain, but it refuses to let the pain define the story. You acknowledge the struggle, but you also acknowledge the strength that's keeping you standing. When you're grateful during hard times, you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, what is this teaching me? That question changes everything. It turns frustration into growth. It turns disappointment into wisdom. And wisdom is far more valuable than comfort. Gratitude keeps your heart soft. Hard seasons have a way of making people bitter. They close off emotionally. They stop trusting. They stop believing. But gratitude keeps you open. It reminds you that just because chapter is hard doesn't mean the whole book is bad. It reminds you that delay is not denial. Let me tell you something important. Some of the things you're grateful for today were once prayers you cried about. At the time, you didn't understand why you had to go through what you went through. But now you see it shaped you, strengthened you, and prepared you. Gratitude allows you to recognize that pattern and trust it again. Faith grows when you look backward with gratitude. When you review your life and see how many times you were protected, guided, and rescued, even when you didn't know it, your trust deepens. You realize even when you thought you were alone, you weren't. And that realization gives you the strength to keep believing. Gratitude also protects you from despair. Despair comes from feeling like nothing will ever change. Gratitude reminds you that things have changed before. You've been at low points before, and you didn't stay there. That memory alone can carry you through some dark days. There's also humility and gratitude. When you thank God during hard times, you accept that you don't control everything, and that's okay. You stop fighting life and start flowing with it. That surrender brings peace. Not the kind of peace that says everything is fine, but the kind that says, I'll be okay no matter what. People with strong faith aren't people without problems. They're people who learn how to be grateful in the middle of them. They learn how to praise while waiting. They learned how to trust while hurting. And that's what keeps them standing when others give up. Gratitude during hard times also prepares you for what's next. It builds character. It strengthens patience. It sharpens wisdom. When the breakthrough finally comes, you're not just happy, you're ready. Ready to handle it, ready to appreciate it, ready to manage it. Listen to me closely. If you can learn how to be grateful when life doesn't make sense, you'll never lose your faith. You might question, you might struggle, you might get tired, but you won't quit. Gratitude will hold you up when answers don't come, when timelines stretch and when hope feels fragile. And sometimes that's all you need to keep moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, let me share something with you that most people overlook. Appreciation attracts better opportunities and better people. Now, I know that sounds simple, but simple truths are often the most powerful ones. See, a grateful person moves through the world differently. They don't walk around feeling entitled. They don't act like the world owes them something. They show appreciation, and appreciation is magnetic. When you appreciate what you have, you send out a certain kind of energy. People feel it. They feel respected, valued, and seen around you. And when people feel that way, they want to help you. They want to open doors for you. They want to support you. Opportunities don't always come because you're the smartest person in the room. Sometimes they come because you're the most grateful one. A lot of people miss opportunities because of their attitude. They complain too much. They focus on what's wrong instead of what's working. They show up with frustration instead of appreciation. And people notice that. Nobody wants to work with someone who drains the room. But a grateful person lifts the room. Their presence alone makes things better. Gratitude changes how you communicate. When you're thankful, you listen more. You speak with respect. You don't interrupt people's journeys with your ego. That kind of communication builds trust. And trust is the foundation of every great opportunity. People don't give chances to people they don't trust. Let me tell you something important. People don't remember everything you say, but they always remember how you made them feel. When you show appreciation, you make people feel important. You acknowledge their effort. You recognize their contribution. That makes you unforgettable. And unforgettable people get invited in rooms others never see. Gratitude also removes desperation. Desperation pushes people away. Appreciation draws them in. When you're desperate, you cling, you force, you beg. But when you're grateful, you're relaxed. You're confident. You trust that what's meant for you will find you. That calm confidence makes people comfortable around you, and comfort creates connection. Opportunities often come through people, not through plans. And people are drawn to appreciation. Think about it. Who do you enjoy being around more? Someone who constantly complains or someone who says thank you, recognizes effort, and sees the good in situations? Life works the same way. Opportunities follow positive relationships. Gratitude also keeps you teachable. When you're appreciative, you're open to learning. You don't act like you already know everything. You respect experience. And mentors love teaching grateful people. Leaders invest in people who value guidance. Doors open for those who are humble enough to appreciate the help they receive. Another thing gratitude does is improve your reputation. Your name starts carrying weight in rooms you're not even in. People say things like, that person is easy to work with, or they really appreciate opportunities, or they don't take things for granted. That reputation travels faster than your resume. And one good word can unlock a lifetime opportunity. Gratitude also sharpens your awareness. When you appreciate what you have, you notice opportunities others overlook. You see value where others see inconvenience. You recognize potential in small beginnings. And many big breakthroughs start as small, unnoticed chances. A grateful mind doesn't ignore those moments. Let me say this clearly: appreciation doesn't mean settling for less. It means respecting the process. You can want more and still be thankful for now. In fact, appreciation prepares you for more. Because if you can't value small opportunities, you won't handle big ones well. Gratitude proves you're ready. People watch how you handle what you're given. They watch how you treat small chances. They watch how you talk about past opportunities. Gratitude tells them you're trustworthy, and trust brings access. Life has a funny way of rewarding grateful people. Not immediately, not loudly, but consistently. A conversation turns into a connection. A connection turns into an invitation. An invitation turns into an opportunity. And before you know it, you're standing in a place you once prayed for. If you want better opportunities and better people in your life, start with appreciation. Thank people. Respect time. Honor effort. Recognize blessings. Gratitude doesn't just change how you feel, it changes who shows up for you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about consistency, because gratitude is not powerful when you do it once in a while. It becomes powerful when you do it every single day. A lot of people try gratitude when life is good, but they drop it when life gets busy, stressful, or disappointing. And that's why they don't see lasting change. Consistency is what turns gratitude from a feeling into a lifestyle. See, the mind is trained by repetition. Whatever you do daily becomes normal. If you complain every day, complaining becomes your default. If you worry every day, worry becomes your comfort zone. But if you practice gratitude every day, your mind starts expecting good instead of fearing bad. That expectation quietly reshapes your entire life. Most people want instant results. They want to feel different tomorrow. But the real change happens slowly beneath the surface. Gratitude works like planting seeds. You don't see growth immediately, but something is happening underground. Every thankful thought is strengthening your mindset, calming your emotions, and rewiring your reactions. When gratitude becomes consistent, your emotional reactions change. Things that used to make you angry don't control you the same way. You pause before reacting. You breathe before speaking. That pause is growth. That calm is strength. And strength is what carries you through long journeys. Consistency in gratitude also builds discipline. You learn how to control your thoughts instead of letting your thoughts control you. Some mornings you won't feel thankful. Some mornings you'll be tired, frustrated. But choosing gratitude anyway teaches your mind that feelings don't run the show. You do. Let me tell you something important. Successful people are not motivated every day. They are disciplined. And gratitude is a discipline. You do it whether you feel like it or not. You thank God even when answers haven't come yet. You appreciate progress even when it feels slow. That discipline creates emotional stability. When gratitude becomes part of your routine, it changes how you talk. Your words become softer, wiser, and more intentional. And words matter because words shape reality. You stop speaking negativity over your own life. You stop cursing your future with doubt. You start speaking hope, patience, and faith. Consistency and gratitude also changes how you see yourself. You stop defining yourself by one bad day or one mistake. You see your growth over time. You recognize effort, not just outcomes. That self-respect builds inner confidence. And when confidence grows quietly inside you, it shows in everything you do. Another thing gratitude does when practiced daily is protect your peace. Life will always be unpredictable. There will always be pressure. But a grateful mind recovers faster. You don't stay stuck in disappointment as long. You bounce back quicker. That resilience is not luck, it's practice. Gratitude practice daily also improves relationships. You become more patient with people. You stop expecting perfection. You appreciate effort. And people feel that, they respond to it. Consistency and gratitude makes you someone others feel safe around. Let me be clear, gratitude doesn't remove challenges. It strengthens you to face them. And when you face challenges with a thankful heart, you don't lose yourself in the process. You grow without becoming bitter. You progress without becoming hard. Over time, consistent gratitude creates a mindset of abundance. You stop feeling like life is against you. You start believing life is teaching you. That belief keeps you moving forward even when results are slow. Listen to me closely. Small daily habits create big life changes. Gratitude done consistently doesn't just improve your mornings. It improves your years. You won't notice the change all at once. But one day you'll look back and realize you think clearer, you react calmer, you trust deeper, and you live lighter. And that's the quiet power of gratitude, practiced every single day.